And we're live with Grafa. I'm Bree, and up next we have NEAR. We're live streaming from Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. We're on the ground at Token 2049. It's Asia's largest crypto event of the year, and we are thrilled to invite our next guest, Lane, Head of Research from the company NEAR. Hi Lane, how are you?
Hi Bree, I'm doing well. I'm just imbibing the energy of what's going on around us. Excited to be here, excited to be meeting you guys as well.
Incredible. I know it's actually pumping today. We're very excited for what's to come. Lane, can you tell us a little bit about the company NEAR? Who are you guys?
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. So NEAR is most famously known, most well known for being a layer 1 blockchain ecosystem. It's a relatively OG ecosystem at this point. The project started around 2018, 2019. The network went live in 2020. So we have all the bells and whistles and bits and bobs that all kind of the other layer 1 smart contract blockchain ecosystems have. Yeah. But the fun thing that most people actually aren't aware of when it comes to NEAR is that the project was actually founded in late 17, early 18 by two early AI pioneers.
Really?
So our co-founder Ilya Polosukhin is well known for being the co-author on the Attention is All You Need research paper out of Google in 2018, which kicked off the entire transformer revolution. That's the T in GPT. So NEAR was founded as an AI project and pivoted in the direction of blockchain because they needed to build a better blockchain to solve some of the problems they were facing. Yeah. And they were 6-7 years too early with the AI stuff, so we're now kind of in the process of pivoting everything back in the direction of AI, and we're building AI infrastructure, decentralized AI infrastructure in a nutshell.
Yeah. Timing is everything, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
Well, can you tell us, Lane, your focus is on AI governance. Why now, and on blockchain, and why NEAR specifically?
Excellent question. Okay, so why? I'll kind of try to break this question down a little bit because there's kind of a few pieces here. So why governance? Governance is, I always like to say, it's kind of unsexy. It doesn't get the attention that, if you look around, there's no governance projects here. It's exchanges and wallets and things like that. Yeah. But it undergirds everything else we do. Right. And this is true on-chain as well as off-chain, right? Yeah. If we want functional cities, functional city-states, Singapore's a great example, functional, nation-states, everything, every level of human society, we need governance, we need effective mechanisms for people to come together and aggregate their preferences and make decisions. Okay, so that's why governance. Why AI governance? Because governance is really, really hard. Yeah. And there's a lot of failure modes, which we could talk about if we have more time, but I'll give you one example. Humans are we're very deeply biased, we're very imperfect creatures, we're very corruptible, things like that. And I've personally seen a lot of these failure modes play out in, again, online as well as off-chain governance systems. I was very active in Ethereum governance back in the day and saw a lot of these things. That's where the ecosystem where I have the most experience. And I think AI gives us a superpower that we can bring to bear, right? So for instance, the corruptibility factor, the bias factor, I'm not saying AIs are not biased. They're biased in their own ways, but they're biased in different ways than human actors. And so I think that, it's an experiment worth running, okay?
Yeah. Why not?
Why not do it? We have these new tools at our disposal. The why now is because a year or two ago, the AI tools were not powerful or capable enough, and now they are for the first time. And we're in the weeds. We already have multiple working prototypes at House of Stake, which is the governance initiative that I'm leading at NEAR, where we're committed to launching our first AI governance platform by the end of this year. So it's a very aggressive target.
Wow.
Right. And why blockchains? Because they're the right, how do I put it? We have a lot at stake, right? NEAR is a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem, right? So there's enough at stake. It's like you're playing poker. You don't want to be playing just for peanuts. You want to be playing for money, right? So people take it seriously. Yeah. But we don't have hospitals. We don't have airplanes. We don't have militaries, right? So we're not at the level of a city-state or a nation-state. So it's the right level that we should be at for this experimentation for AI governance today. Okay. And final piece of the question, I know it's a long question. No, why NEAR? This goes back to what I said a moment ago, right? So NEAR just brings to bear a very unique set of capabilities around AI. We have AI leadership, it's in our DNA, being able to have conversations with the NEAR AI team, which is a subsidiary of NEAR Foundation, which I'm a part of, and people like Ilya, leaders like Ilya, I think is going to give us the boost we need to actually do this and actually do it right and do it right now.
Well, it's very exciting, and I'm glad the time has come.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Well, our next question for you is, what role does House of Stake have in governing the NEAR blockchain, the protocol and adjacent tools, and all the other NEAR products?
Yeah, another great question. So NEAR is a very complex ecosystem. I joined the project late last year, and I'm still, to be completely honest, I'm still getting my head around all the moving parts, all the different organizations. We call them nodes, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of decentralization maximalists, so NEAR is actually not a company, right? We're kind of an ecosystem with, depending how you count, 10 or 20 of these different independent nodes. And many of these independent nodes have their own products, their own even suites of products in some cases, yeah. So House of Stake, yeah, exactly. So the reality is, it's impossible for any single group of humans, any single organization, any single company or foundation, in the case of NEAR Foundation, to govern all of this. It's just too much. So we need kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a supranational, kind of like a layer that sits on top of. If you kind of envision all the different NEAR nodes as being like different states,
Like an umbrella?
like a United Nations kind of thing, that sits kind of above it and has a bird's eye view on everything, but that's incredibly neutral, right? That doesn't bring the biases in any of these individual organizations. So House of Stake was envisioned a few years ago, and we're building it to be that kind of neutral arbiter that governs, first and foremost, the economics of all of these products, right? And then down the road, some of the technological pieces as well, although that's a bit of a heavy lift because NEAR is so complicated. So I'll give you maybe two concrete examples in the interest of time. The first is economics, tokenomics, we like to call it, right? So NEAR Protocol has a certain inflation level, certain amount, just like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or any of these blockchains, a certain number of coins are minted with every new block that appears and handed out to the validators in the network. When the network went live, the decision was made at that point in time to set the inflation level at a certain level, and now we're 5 years later.
Permanently.
Well,
At the time.
for the time being, right? And it turns out changing these things is very hard, right? Because when you first launch the network, the developers can unilaterally say, okay, 8% feels right, let's make it that number. It's actually a bit higher in the case of NEAR. But now that we have all these different various stakeholders, we need governance. This is what you need governance for. You need governance to do this in a way that's legitimate.
Yeah.
People look at it and they say, okay, all the different various stakeholder groups have a say, they're all represented here. So economic governance is the first thing. And the second thing is, we have all these other products and verticals. We have NEAR Intents, we have chain signatures. I don't know if we have time to get into all the details of all of them, but each of them have technical components that need governing. So chain signatures is a really exciting product that lets you orchestrate and control many accounts across many different blockchains, all the ones you know and love, using a single set of NEAR credentials, a single key pair from NEAR. And this is powered under the hood by a set of validators. They're called MPC signers. It's a bit of a technological thing, but they manage your keys for you in a secure fashion. We need a way to govern the set of those MPC signers, and they're in a very sensitive position because they're holding that sensitive key data on your behalf, so we can't open it completely and make it a free-for-all. So again, House of Stake, as this incredibly neutral mechanism, comes in to govern that set of validators.
Incredible. So let me know then, what role does House of Stake have in governing the NEAR blockchain and adjacent tools? Oh, sorry, let me go. How do all the pieces fit together?
Yeah, well, I would say, in a nutshell, I would describe, this is a bit reductionist, but I would say House of Stake is intended to be the central bank of the NEAR protocol, right? So again, we have all these different pieces, the products we were just talking about, that currently are governed totally independently. They're not really interlinked very well from an economic perspective. I would say another way to understand the role of House of Stake, and I want to expand the scope a little because we're talking about NEAR, we're talking about House of Stake here, but this would be true of any blockchain ecosystem. It's equally true of an Ethereum or Solana or any others, right? You want value to accrue to your token holders at the end of the day. And you want that token to represent the overall economic health of the entire ecosystem, not just the blockchain itself. That's kind of the mandate of House of Stake, right? How do we unite all these different products, the AI infrastructure I mentioned a moment ago, right? People are going to be paying for access to that. And so, the role, again, of House of Stake is to act as a kind of central bank, manage the kind of macroeconomic monetary policy of the NEAR protocol, the broader NEAR ecosystem, including all these products, and make sure it's healthy, it's sustainable, and values accruing to token holders. That's the connective tissue.
Yeah, it sounds like massive, a huge thing to pull off. And you coming close?
Coming close.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're trying to do this in a very incremental fashion. We're really trying to lean into lean startup methodology here and not try to boil the ocean. Sorry, I know that's a lot of buzzwords. I can't help it. But so what that means in practice is the House of Stake project that I've been working on now for about the past 6-8 months. It's great timing. We are supposed to go live next week. fingers crossed, you heard it here first. It's a bit hard to coordinate all the different people involved this week because a lot of people are here and things are a bit crazy, but that's still kind of the official target.
Right.
And then we have a very concrete set of deliverables, of proposals that we want to get passed through the DAO in the first few days. And really the very first ones are along the lines I mentioned a moment ago, cryptoeconomic policy, tokenomic policy. It's actually like a bootstrapping mechanism, as in like pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. So we have a treasury for the DAO, and we want to actually allocate a portion of that treasury in as an economic incentive for people to join the House of Stake. Right. So that's actually the very first kind of thing that we need to put in place. So it'll be gradual. The stuff I described a moment ago, optimistically, I think we should be able to be working on all those things 6 to 12 months from now, but one thing at a time.
First steps first, yeah.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Well, Lane, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for your time, and we absolutely wish you all the best with everything.
Thank you so much, Bree. Really excited to be here. Thanks for the time. Great chatting today.
Thank you, Lane. You've been live with Lane from NEAR at Token 2049. For more news and interviews, head to grafa.com.